how would you define women's safety?
Under Article 14, 15 and 21 that
What do you think the communities that we live in, as well as the men in general, can do to also prevent, crimes against women?
so it is the responsibility of the men, the other gender, and the responsibility of the society as well.
Do you think that there is a possibility that there are also men out there who might be harassed by women?
Yes, that can also be that is quite possible.
Let's say a female has been harassed, but then there is no sufficient evidence that can prove.
See, the Indian legal system, you have to prove your case. Okay, the burden of proof is on the prosecution only. That if you have accused the other person, you have to prove his guilt beyond the reasonable doubt.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the B.Addresses podcast, where we discuss women-related issues. So in today's topic, women's safety from a legal perspective, here with me is a faculty from the law department from Lovely Professional University, Ma'am Varinder Kaur, who is going to share with us her expertise on the particular topic. Ma'am, welcome.
Thank you.
So, ma'am, from your perspective, how would you define women's safety? When we say a woman is safe in a community, how would you define that kind of?
So the basic meaning of safety means that thereby that the women should feel safe in the environment that we are giving her, and we should also give her the basic rights which are enshrined in the Constitution of India under Article 14, 15 and 21, that is the right to equality, then right against any kind of discrimination, then she is also having a right to have a dignified life. So it further covers that the protection from emotional side and physical as well as the sexual aspect. And the aim of the law is not to protect the or safeguard the women or prevent the crime against her. The aim is to give her or provide her the environment where the women feel safe and from any kind of discrimination, and she can participate in every activity or in every walk of her life.
So, what positive signs are you seeing in the legal system that can show you that women are being treated with respect? The legal system is seeing to it that women are safe. What positive aspects of it?
So from the societal side also, we are seeing the positive signs, as we have, you might have heard about the Me Too movement also, where the women are very vocal about their own rights. If she is facing any kind of abuse or the violence, so they are speaking about it, and the public is also, speaking about vocal about the rights of the women, and the awareness sessions are being conducted, and the podcast which we are right now doing, that is also one of the this aspect that we are spreading the awareness, or we are vocal about the women's right. And from the legal recourse, we can see that the lot of the laws have been enacted by the Parliament of India in the form of Domestic Violence Act. If the women face any kind of harassment or the abuse at her home even, and if she faces any, because now the women are working outside the homes, they are taking the private or the government jobs, and in every walk of our field they are working. And we have a law that is enacted by again the Parliament of India in the year 2013.
So, ma'am, looking at the Institution of India, what are the positive signs that you're seeing in the legal system concerning women's safety?
So we can divide it into two parts: the societal aspect as well as the legal aspect. From the societal aspect, now the people are more vocal about the women right. If they witness any kind of incident or they see any kind of harassment against the women, so they speak about it. Okay, so you might have heard about the Me Too movement also, where the people, the women came forward to speak about their, if they are facing any kind of sexual harassment. And from the legal aspect, if we see that the Parliament of India has enacted many laws for in order to safeguard the women. So the women are now they are working in every field of our life. So the we have in the form of domestic violence act. Okay, so if at even home, if she is for suffering any kind of abuse,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
she can report the matter. And if she is at the workplace, she is not feeling safe, or any person harass her, so then she can again, under that act that was enacted in the year 2013, she can report the matter to the police. Or there is also a internal complaint system under that act, that wherever she is working, so where the 10 or more women are working, so they should have a internal complaint system where she can report the matter to the institution in which she is working.
So, ma'am, as we move on to the next question, what do you think men and the society can do to make sure that a woman is safe? Because usually we rely on what women can do to, be safe in the society. What do you think the communities that we live in, as well as the men in general, can do to also prevent, crimes against women?
So see, the safety is not a burden on the women, that she has to keep herself safe. So it is the responsibility of the men, the other gender, and the responsibility of the society as well, the bystanders.
Right.
So the men should be, I think, the taught by their mothers during their childhood, or even in the schools. They should be taught that they should respect the women. They should respect the consent of the women. That also matter. That is very important. That whether she is consenting regarding any activity or not. And they should be more gender sensitized.
Yeah.
And the bystanders, according to the Indian legal system, so there are certain rights which are given to the bystanders also, that if they witness any kind of a heinous crime, they should report to the concerned authorities, to the police as well. Okay,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
nobody will bother, nobody will harass that bystander, that the person, maybe he is also involved in that, because earlier these kind of barriers were there. Okay, so now they are protected. If any person who has witnessed any incident, he can very easily report the matter to the authorities, the concerned authorities, or to the police.
Amazing. So, ma'am, what do you think actually hinders women from coming to speak up that they have been harassed, or there's a certain crime that has been committed against them? What do you think hinders them? Apart from fearing people, what do you think from a societal point of view and from a legal perspective hinders women from speaking up?
So further, the barriers can be divided into, from the societal aspect,
Yes,
because
ma'am.
she is having the stigma is attached with the crime, that why that she was there at the time of incident, why she was there at what was she was doing at the midnight.
Yeah.
And now, due to the stigma, or due to the financial dependence on her parents, or the emotional dependence, and there is a lack of support from her family sometimes, and she doesn't report the matter to the police. And from the there are certain procedural barrier also,
Right.
that there is a, the police is not that much compassionate towards reporting the matter, or registering the FIR, and there is a lot of delays are being made by the court side also. Okay, so that's why, and sometimes the people are so insensitive, they reveal the identity of the victim,
Yeah,
or
they
the
do.
survivor. So you might have seen the cases that the identity is revealed in the newspapers. So the photographs are being displayed in the through the social media, or the print media also. So the in order to, I think, stop these kind of barriers, the police should be more trained, the judges should be more trained about it, and the the level of awareness should be increased,
Yeah.
in order to remove these kind of barriers.
So, ma'am, do you agree that women, yes, they get harassed? Do you think that there's a possibility that there are also men out there who might be harassed by women? Do you understand? Do you think that can happen in our society?
Yes, that can also be, that is quite possible. That
Yeah.
see, it is not only the women every time that she is the victim. Sometimes she also victimizes
Yeah.
the male, the counterpart also.
Right.
So for that purpose, that as I have told you, that we have the law related to the to save the women from any kind of sexual harassment against the men. And if any female file the wrong case, pose the wrong accusation against the male, so they have the same equal rights also against the women. Okay, the same things which are otherwise can be done against the man, that can be done against the female also. That action can be taken against women, that she can be suspended from her job, and she can be expelled from the job, or she can be shifted towards the in the other department also. So such kind of issues are there. And if the person think that I'm defamed by the women or by the wrong accusation, and he is also having the right to file the case against the women for, and he can also claim the compensation as well. Such kind of remedies are available under the Indian legal system.
Wow, amazing. So ma'am, what would you say would happen to a case whereby, let's say a female has been harassed, but then there's no sufficient evidence that can prove that this female has been harassed? Because usually there are such cases in the system now. So I want to understand, like, how would you implicate the male who's behind that kind of scenario? How would you help that woman to get the justice that she deserves?
See, the Indian legal system, you have to prove your case. The burden of proof is on the prosecution only, that if you have accused the other person, you have to prove his guilt beyond the reasonable doubt.
Right.
Okay. So sometimes, yes, due to the lack of evidence, the accused scot free. What the police can do, the purpose is the police will investigate the case properly. So and the female has to disclose each and everything. Sometimes the female also hides certain things due to the stigma or these kind of issues. But female has to fully participate in the issue, in the investigation process or the procedure. And the police should also investigate cases fairly. There should be no biases, that the woman has reported a case, might be the case that she has falsely implicating the man in the case. So but according to the Indian legal system, she has to prove her case. So because it is based on the theory that the no man who is innocent who get the punishment, although the hundreds of the innocent has been scot free.
Right. So what advice would you give to a female who's afraid to speak up in case of harassment, in case she has been molested, in case she has been abused by a man? So what kind of advice would you give to that female to encourage her to step up and speak out?
See, the women, I think, should be very vocal about. Because now the most of the women are educated. So although she is not educated, even then she is having all the rights, which the educated women is having. So the rights are given under the Constitution of India. We have other such laws also, which the rights are given under the criminal law as well. So where she can, but the thing is, she should be vocal about her rights. So if the female face any kind of harassment, so firstly she should be confident enough to disclose that matter or share that thing with her family or to the concerned authorities such as the police. Only the police or her family will be able, or they will be in position to help her out. And we have certain laws also which provide the safety or the protection to the women. Her identity, if she report the matter, her identity will not be disclosed to anybody else. And they will also protect the privacy rights. So see, there are certain helpline numbers also which every woman should aware about. So we have the national emergency number. So that is 112. She can dial that number and report the matter. And we have the women specially that is made for the females. That is the helpline number 181. She can dial that number and report the matter.
All right, amazing. This was so beautiful. So guys, thank you so much for staying tuned. And as we have heard from ma'am, it's not only our responsibility, but it's also the responsibility of our society to ensure that every woman is safely protected from every form of harassment. So until we meet again, let's say goodbye to our lovely guest who has joined us today. Thank you so much for coming. Bye.
Thank you.